7.5 million Ankole Longhorns need open grazing. Galahs cost grain farmers $185 million yearly. Across 3 continents, farms are being forced to make room for animals that are either too valuable to lose or too numerous to ignore. Longhorn breeds carry meat, milk, genetics, and pride, but they demand land, steady pasture, and careful breeding. In Australia, rain can turn parrots into fast-moving flocks that strip seed, grain, and stored feed. In this video, we explore how farmers manage value and pressure when livestock and wild birds compete for the same rural space. Some of Africa's most distinctive cattle are built for open country, yet their strength begins each night behind a simple fence. Nearly 7.5 million Ankole cattle are estimated across Africa, with Uganda, Rwanda, and Kenya carrying the main weight of the breed. In western Uganda's cattle corridor, Ankole ranching is not a side trade. It turns grass, crop residue, water, and family labor into milk, calves, manure, and sale value. The morning release matters because feed is not poured from a factory bin. It is found across grazing land, often within about 3 miles of the farm. That radius keeps grass, water points, and herders close enough to make open grazing controlled work, not drift. Before the gates open, the day has already begun. Calves are checked, milk is drawn, and risk moves out with the animals. These cattle carry their own engineering. The Longhorns are associated with shedding heat, and the body beneath them can keep working on rough forage. That matters where bought feed can break a household budget. The Ankole's value is tied to food made without constant outside inputs. It is more than a meat animal. Milk feeds homes, breeding stock builds wealth, manure feeds fields, and the herd itself still marks standing in rural life. What stands out is how old grazing knowledge now faces market pressure. A family may preserve a pure Ankole line or crossbreed for more milk and weight. Neither choice is clean. Pure herds protect traits shaped for heat and sparse feed. Crossbreeding can push a farm toward higher output and higher dependence. The land that keeps the herd strong is also tightening. Drought strains water. Ticks and other parasites add labor, and smaller pasture forces choices before market day. Herders carry that pressure hour by hour. They read the grass, hold animals near water, watch calves, and guide the herd home before dark. This is not ranching as nostalgia. It is a working food chain with little buffer, where weather, forage, labor, and animal health decide the next pail of milk. The Ankole herd shows why traditional grazing still holds economic force. Culture helps organize breeding, land use, and value. As farms tighten and markets demand more output, the hard decision stays close to the herd. Protect adaptation or chase faster production. The Ankole makes coexistence practical and difficult. Open land, stretched feed, watched animals, and heritage kept useful under market weight. A cattle breed can carry a whole inheritance and still lose the numbers game. Across Africa, Zebu cattle are estimated at more than 310 million head. The Ankole stands beside that scale, prized but not dominant. Its horns carry status, memory, and breeding value, but the market weighs the body before it pays for the animal. Adult male Ankole cattle average around 1,100 pounds, while females average about 800. That is roughly 30% lighter than Angus beef cattle raised in the United States. That weight gap matters when cash is short. A treasured animal still has to meet the buyer's eye. At market, horns matter, but not as decoration. Buyers read body condition, age, sex, horn size, and expected carcass yield. A stronger body can lift the price. Age or thin condition can pull it down before bargaining even begins. Before any sale, the work is practical and low cost. Land, water, and time decide how much condition a herd can carry. Farmers store water in rainwater tanks, small canals, and troughs. The goal is simple: keep cattle moving without letting dry months drain the herd. By late afternoon, animals are brought back to simple roofless enclosures. The day closes with counting, sorting, and another check on body strength. Insect pressure is managed with whatever tools fit the farm. Smoke from straw or other plant material is used about every 3 days. Where money and access allow, farmers add dipping, spraying, or veterinary treatment. Each added step protects weight, hides, milk, and future sale value. I used to think the Ankole horns were the main story. The meat chain shows a harder truth. Appearance does not cancel the need for income. Salvageable animals are separated from the herd, then walked or trucked to regional cattle markets. One decision on a farm becomes a price in a crowded yard. From there, cattle move onward to meat plants and butcheries. The cultural animal enters a trade built on kilos, time, transport, and demand. The scale is not small. An estimated 2.8 million Ankole Longhorn cattle are processed for meat each year. More than 60% are raised in western Uganda, where the breed is not a symbol alone. It is cash, food, breeding stock, and family work. Inside Ankole production, pasture tradition keeps the animal visible, while the meat market keeps asking what each animal can return. Some cattle disappear into the beef system. Texas Longhorns gain value by refusing to blend in. By the end of 2025, about 278,000 Texas Longhorns were being raised in the United States, yet only about 45,000 entered the beef chain each year. This is not Angus logic, and it is not Hereford logic. The animal carries meat value, bloodline value, horn genetics, show value, and memory. The breed traces back to Spanish colonial herds, feral cattle, and the cattle drives after the Civil War. That history turns ranching into a job of production and preservation. Here, ranchers are not simply finishing animals for volume. They are deciding which traits deserve another generation. Lean beef is part of the trade, but many herds are kept for breeding stock, crossbreeding, private sales, and heritage conservation. That changes the calendar. Calves are kept at least 18 months, so pasture, fencing, and handling labor stay tied up longer before money comes back. Longhorns earn their place where land is rough, hot, and not built for soft cattle. Ranchers prize heat tolerance, easy calving, long productive lives, and the ability to work poor pasture. But the same traits that sell the breed also slow the ranch. Big horns demand wider gates, careful alleys, larger trailers, and calmer sorting. A rushed gait can cost more than time. A bad setup can bend equipment, stress animals, and turn routine handling into lost margin. That is the industrial pressure here. Not maximum output, but maximum control. The ranch has to protect genetics, meat, land, and reputation at once. Registries, shows, and horn measurements turn the animal into paperwork as well as beef. Value is recorded, compared, and sold long before a stake exists. Crossbreeding adds another layer. Longhorn hardiness can be used with commercial beef cows, but every cross asks what gets gained and what gets watered down. The Longhorn exposes a limit in modern ranching. Efficiency cannot erase the price of a breed kept because it stayed different. That difference puts culture directly into the feed bill. Heritage needs pasture, handlers, breeding choices, trucks, sales networks, and buyers willing to pay for more than weight. The Texas Longhorn is not only raised, it is maintained. The accounts have to carry more than beef, land, heritage, genetics, and buyers who still value difference. "450 cattle do not make this ranch a factory. They make 450 separate decisions." In Hill County, Central Texas, this Longhorn operation sells about 100 to 150 animals a year, and many leave for exhibition, entertainment, or private ownership instead of meat. That split is the point. Hill County sits in a mixed ranching belt between larger Texas metro areas and open pasture. Land here has to answer to animals and buyers. Open ground gives Longhorns room to move and grow, but open ground is never free. Fences need repair, gates need watching, and stock tanks have to carry dry spells. When grass thins, hay feeding becomes the bridge. Mineral supplements add another quiet cost paid before any sale check arrives. A herd this size cannot be handled as one mass. Workers sort breeding groups, separate bulls, and keep closer watch on cows around calving. The calves have to be identified early. That small act turns a moving animal into a record, a value, and a decision. Even the pens have to fit the breed. Longhorns demand wider turns, cleaner openings, and calmer handling than ordinary beef cattle. The real work is the sorting. A Longhorn is judged by age, horn spread, color pattern, temperament, body condition, and future use. One animal may fit a small processor. Another may bring more value as breeding stock, a show animal, a parade animal, or a photo attraction. That is where culture presses against ranch math. The same feed can support pounds of beef, or an animal valued for heritage and display. For the ranch, every category changes the work. Quiet cattle are easier to place with private owners. Strong horn and color can push an animal toward exhibition. A mistake in sorting can waste feed, labor, pasture space, and the sale category that would have paid best. So this ranch is not only raising cattle, it is deciding which animals become food, which carry genetics forward, and which earn value by being seen. In Hill County, coexistence pays only when land, labor, heritage, and markets stay in balance. On a fence line, a Galah looks harmless. In a flock, it becomes a farm cost. Across Australia, 56 parrot species live through most regions, with the wider parrot count estimated at more than 18 million individuals. After Longhorn cattle, the conflict changes shape. No longer horn, hoof, and pasture, but beak, seed, shed, and rulebook. Galahs sit at the center of it because they are described as the most numerous parrots on mainland Australia. Their strength is not size, it is fit. They work through arid interior country, open woodland, cropland, towns, suburbs, and livestock districts. A farm boundary does not mean much to a bird built for movement and quick feeding. The uncomfortable fact is that agriculture has helped create some of the conditions it now struggles to manage. Grain crops, spilled seed, livestock feed, cleared ground, dams, troughs, and shade trees all add opportunity. The farmer clears land to grow food and run animals. The same open ground gives Galahs room to land, feed, roost, and return. The loss is not just grain swallowed in a field. Flocks can pull at ripening seed heads, lift newly sown seed, and leave stored feed unfit for clean use. Around yards and sheds, the pressure changes shape. Droppings add work, noise wears on people, and chewed fixtures turn a bird problem into a maintenance bill. Nesting adds another layer. When hollows or farm structures become nesting sites, routine work has to slow down, adjust, or wait for permission. That last word matters in Australia. Galahs are native birds, so farmers cannot handle them like ordinary crop raiders in every place. State wildlife rules can require permits and proof of agricultural damage. The field problem has to become paperwork before action can move. This is where coexistence stops being a slogan and becomes a cost. Feed must be protected, crops must be timed, and storage has to be kept clean under constant pressure. The Galah's familiar, almost comic image changes in this farm setting, where numbers turn color and noise into lost time. The same countryside that supports cattle, grain, and rural work also feeds wild flocks. Openness is productive, but it is never empty. Australia's galahs expose a blunt farm truth. A beautiful native bird can still press hard on production when abundance meets grain, water, and shelter. Before a steer reaches the trough, galahs may already be taking its ration. Near a Maranoa cattle ranch in southwest Queensland, nearly 300 Galah cockatoos are described as arriving day after day for water, corn, and seed. That number is not huge by industrial standards, but on a dry grazing and cropping property, 300 repeat visitors can turn routine feeding into a daily contest. A grazing property is built around access. Troughs, dams, yards, and grain must be reachable, and that reachability works for parrots too. The pressure is brutally direct. The birds are not chasing luxury. They are chasing the same water and energy the farm has already bought for stock and crops. A trough is not just a drinking point. In this country, it is a scheduled supply of water placed and maintained because animals need certainty in heat and dry feed. Feed bins carry the same problem. Corn, seed mixes, and livestock rations are measured for animals, but galahs can eat them, scatter them, or foul them before the ration does its work. That pushes cost into labor. Feed has to be covered, storage shifted, yards cleaned, and weak points watched when birds learn the hour, when food appears. The birds learn fast because the farm runs on patterns. Morning water, open bins, fresh ration, seeding time, every habit that makes labor efficient can also make a flock more accurate. The pressure does not stop at the cattle yard. In wheat and barley paddocks, galahs are drawn to the milk and dough stages, when the grain head is soft enough to tear open and rich enough to reward a return. That timing matters. A crop can look almost secure, then become vulnerable during the short window, when the seed is filled but not yet hard. After planting, the risk shifts again. Galahs may pull or consume seed soon after seeding, reducing emergence before the full gap is visible from the fence line. This is why scare devices and guarding do not feel like side chores. They sit on top of fencing, water checks, feed runs, machinery work, and market deadlines. The Maranoa case makes coexistence less comfortable and more practical. Wildlife needs water and feed. The farm needs the same resources to turn land into meat, milk, and grain. In southwest Queensland, the open land that sustains production also invites daily pressure from wild flocks. When galahs enter a grain paddock, the damage can move straight into permits and legal costs. Across Australia, the population is estimated at more than 4.5 million, while grain farmers face about $185 million in crop damage each year. Control programs add another bill, nearly $5 million a year, bound by state wildlife law and animal welfare rules. Breeding alone does not explain the pressure. A pair may hatch only 2 or 3 eggs in a season, but the adults last. In the wild, a Galah can live up to 25 years. In captivity, it can reach 70, proof of how durable this bird is. That changes the math. Low clutch size matters less when adults keep returning to feed and water for many seasons. The breeding calendar also shifts by region. In some parts of Australia, it runs from July to December. In the south, often from February to July. That staggered timing spreads pressure across the year. It is not one clean pulse that a farm can absorb and forget. The nest is usually a tree hollow, not a structure far from production. Mature roadside trees and paddock trees can sit close to water points in grain fields. A farm landscape built for feed, shade, and access can also give Galahs a practical advantage. Food, water, and nesting space line up. This is the same farm paradox seen with cattle, only from the wild side. Open land supports production, but openness also lets pressure cross the fence. Galahs do not need huge clutches to hold a district. If adults endure and grain stays reliable, local flocks can remain stable for years. The first cost lands on growers: crop damage, altered feeding routines, covered storage, and hours spent pushing birds away from valuable feed. Then the bill moves into control. Scaring, exclusion netting, storage covers, trapping, and other lawful measures all need labor before they deliver results. Because Galahs are native wildlife, control is not just a farm choice. It can require permits, animal welfare rules, and safeguards for other species. That legal weight changes the calculation. A farmer is not only protecting grain, the farm is operating inside a public bargain over wildlife. The hardest part is recurrence. Even after birds are moved off one food source, nearby flocks can refill the same niche. The Galah problem is not daily irritation with wings. It is agriculture paying for coexistence in grain, labor, paperwork, and time. The Budgerigars threat is not weight, it is timing, rain, and numbers. In wild budgie country, flocks may sit near 100, then swell into several thousand after rain brings grass, seed, water, and nesting material. That is the hard part for farmers. The pressure does not stay parked at one fence line. Budgerigars move with the weather across open and arid country. They follow fresh seeding grasses, temporary water, and the small nesting chances that appear after rain. In a dry spell, the same country can shut breeding down for a season. More than 5.5 million budgies are estimated, but the number alone misses the threat. A wet season can concentrate them into dense mouths on a short clock. Normal flocks of about 100 are a management problem. Several thousand birds landing together can turn a crop, an orchard, or stored feed into a cost line before a farmer has time to respond. Predators such as falcons do not hold the line in any reliable way. Annual losses from predators, disease, and human control are described at about 1.3%. That leaves rainfall as the stronger lever. When vegetation thickens, seed rises, hollows become useful, and breeding pressure can build quickly. The usual breeding window is September to February, but the calendar is not the real boss. Condition is. If seed and nesting material are there, budgies can raise young fast enough to change the feel of a district. If the country is too dry, they may wait. Here, coexistence has a geography. Open land supports cattle, grass growth, and farm water, but it also gives mobile flocks a map. For a ranch or crop farm, the risk arrives through movement. Inland feed dries down, and birds shift toward crops, orchards, stored feed, and water points. The farm has already paid for that feed once. When wild flocks take part of it, the loss is not just grain. It is labor, fuel, storage, and time. The speed of the swing is the warning. A scattered parrot population can become a seasonal force because rain turns biology into numbers. This makes budgies different from a fixed pest around one shed or one field. In Australian farm country, good rain can strengthen pasture and build the next wave of birds competing for the same food. The final risk begins when one breeding season turns small birds into a moving flock. After 6 to 7 weeks, young birds can leave the nest, and a strong season can push a colony to 13 to 17 times its earlier size. Here, the final escalation is scale in motion. A light seed-eating parrot becomes a production issue because hundreds or thousands feed at the same time. Wheat and sorghum are most exposed near harvest, when the heads are full and easy to reach. The crop is almost finished, but not yet safe. Loss does not come from one clean bite. It comes from feeding, knocked down heads, scattered grain, and repeated visits along the same field edge. That is why flock behavior matters more than the appetite of one bird. The damage is synchronized, fast, and difficult to price until grain has already been pulled down. Budgies also move through orchard country when conditions suit them. Banana and mango farms can offer shelter, exposed fruit, irrigation, and nearby water in one tight area. Water is the anchor that the field alone cannot explain. Adult birds may need to drink at least 7 times a day, so a leak, dam, trough, or small water hole can pull a flock back repeatedly. In dry country, that changes the meaning of farm water. A trough built for livestock can also become a daily gathering point for native parrots. This is where the cattle story and the parrot story meet. Open land feeds strong herds, but open land also gives wild flocks room to gather, breed, and feed. Control is not a single move. It becomes a line of daily work. cover stored grain, reduce spilled feed, net vulnerable crops, repair leaks, and manage trough access. Scaring and trapping may be used when crop pressure rises. Other actions depend on permits, local rules, and the risk to other species. Because budgerigars are native birds, the response cannot be treated like ordinary pest work. Farmers have to protect grain while staying inside wildlife and welfare rules. The dangerous combination is large flocks, fast breeding, grain feeding, and a constant need for water. Each part can be handled alone. Together they turn bird control into farm management. The final pressure is not only on the crop, it lands on labor, storage, water points, permits, and the central bargain of open farming, producing food while living with native wildlife. The plain lesson is that farm strength is no longer measured only by herd size or crop yield. It is measured by how well land, labor, and money absorb pressure from animals people raise, protect, or struggle to keep out. Stay with this series as it follows the pressure between land, animals, and modern food.